All right, so two things on the docket today. We're going to, one, do our Tien summons because, or not stone summons, but our ticket summons because Dokkan Day, yay, Dokkan Day, best feature ever. So you can see no paid banner or anything, no paid tickets or anything. You know, I'm like I said, I am the most low spending / free to play. I literally just do subscription, which doesn't entitle me to tickets or anything. So let's do our Dokkan Day ticket summons here. And hopefully we get them. After this, we're going to talk about the banner. If you just want to see what I have to say about the banner and if you should pull, if you should use your stones, that is, go ahead and skip to the timestamp. But until then, we're just going to look at Tien, you know, fresh here, just, you know, raw pulls, see if we get anything surprising, exciting. I haven't looked at the banner at all. So this is just like, okay, we got launch. Oh, wrong Tien. Yep, nothing really. Probably not going to get anything. I mean, tickets are tickets. I don't think I've gotten literally anything out of any of the Dokkan Day tickets, but it's still nice for them to have. If you're a new player, returning player, make sure you're going to here and locking at least one copy. It looks like I do have my one copy probably locked because I have 3 of those cards. So do another. Do another. I got a Beerus here. I don't think this is anything though. So not really expecting anything, but yeah, we're gonna, like I said, you can skip forward to the actual talking about the banner. You can skip forward to the talking about Tien and why I think he's a fine card to summon on. Ultimately, he's not amazing in terms of his summon potential with, of course, what is it? And I already have these guys rainbowed, I think. In terms of, you know, Global Dokkan Celebration is coming up, so not a card you really want to be summoning on, but if you want to hear me, oh my god, it's Vegeta, maybe something? No. Probably nothing then. No animations at all. Rewind? Anything? Oh, camera break. Can we get 2? No. Alright. So yeah, not really a card you need to be summoning on because primarily there's just like, you know, Global Dokkan Celebration coming up, and we can now look at the banner because that's some fun, right? So, banner, does it look good? Does it look bad? Tien, this is a Monster House card. I would say that Tien is a card that people are misunderstanding as just being on this Earthling team. But that doesn't make any sense. Because if you are someone who's saying Tien, the Earthling character, you are just misrepresenting the other tag that he has, which is Final Trump card. And I don't want to be this guy, but oh my god, is that 2 of the most Doom characters in the game? So Tien, who has no conditionals, by the way, you can just run him. He doesn't have any he doesn't have any contingencies. There's nothing there that says you can't run him. Do you see a tag here? Activates the entrance animation upon the character's entry. Okay, no tag, no tag, no tag, no tag, no tag, etc., etc. You get what I'm saying? There is no reason that someone should say that he only fits on 1 team. He doesn't. He fits on 8 teams because he has no conditionals, right? So Turtle School or Kamehameha category enemy, again, no conditionals. Or from the 5th turn from the start of battle. This character does not need you to actually have characters to like be beside him, and he's extremely strong. Will he hit less hard? Of course, you know, he of course wants his links up and such, but that's not really what we're talking about, right? We can still get legendary power up, and I'm sure we could still get at least things like Fierce Battle and maybe Infighter, but all this is to say is that he does lead Final Trump card. So if you're someone who has an excess of stones, Tien is not a character who is going to hamstring you. He has Gogeta on his team. He has Vegeta on his team. He has Gotenks on his team. We can scroll down. He has the gods on his team. He has the fours on his team. He has Frieza on his team. There's AGL Frieza on his team if you want to get really wacky. Anyone else here we really need to see that's like notable? Probably cards I don't really have access to. You can see. Oh, he has the new Kale and Caulifla on his team, or not the Easy A. He has Vegeta on his team, the Grade 8 Vegeta. This is not a team that you need to worry about at all, right? So, yeah, I wouldn't really let people say that, like, say you're the biggest Tien or OG Dragon Ball fan in the world, and you have 3,000 stones. If you want to use 1,000 stones on this Tien, 2,000 is more than enough to, you know, essentially guarantee you whatever you want from the global download celebration, right? I don't think we're getting 6 characters. We could, and it's why I'm not spending. But if you have a surplus of stones, say you're a moderate spender, a whale, or a free-to-play player who just hasn't pulled at all year, I mean, this character, like I said, if he's your favorite, he's fine. Like, this is like the 5th best character in the game, and he's unconditionally that. And what teams are we on? Final Trump card, amazing. Earthlings, amazing if you have Tao and the others. Dragon Ball Saga, amazing if you have Tao and the others, like I said. So let's say he's not on Earthlings or Dragon Ball Saga or like World Tournament. He's still on Final Trump Card. He's still on Bond of Friendship. He's still on Master and Disciples, which I expect this tag to get something soon because look at this fucking list of characters. Earthbred Fighters obviously is going to remain a tag that is super strong, especially because new characters, and let's just, oh my god, look how many of them there are, right? Yeah, this Goku is here, this Kid Goku. So, and tournament participants is, as everyone knows, the category of the year, which is very funny because you would have thought it would be fusions, but it's essentially the category of the year. So don't let people trick you into thinking Tien is someone he is not. It's fine if you don't pull him. It's fine if you do pull him, right? There are a ton of reasons to do both. Huge stats, big damage, counters, unconditional, and his worst habit is he just doesn't have a great link set, right? And like I said, will he be at top power? No. But I think he's a character that will stay good for a while. So if you want to grab him to put him in your box, I think he's one of those characters who's just... he's going to be so good for a while, I think. I think Tien is going to outage almost everything we've gotten that hasn't been a major celebration. He's pretty much just... he's who he is. I don't think he can really just get hammered in slot 2 or 3 currently. And slot 1, he definitely can't die to, you know, that spot when he's got his, you know, over 100% damage reduction. I think he's fine. This character is outaged. He's got the thing where villains just suck and he wants to be run with villains. No, this character is cool, but sadly they just didn't give him enough juice. If this character stacked consistently, they'd be fine, but yeah, just not bad. Just not good. This character is mid because there aren't Ginyus. This character is mid because there aren't Ginyus. Nothing. Yeah, the rest of it is pretty bad. So yeah, I think that is that's an accurate representation of the banner, right? It's a bad banner. You know, you cannot really trick yourself into pulling for this if you're on the fence, like I said, because if you pull for this, and I just want to say, if you pull for this Tien, say this is like I said, this is your favorite character, say you want this Tien really, really badly, you think this Tien would make you the happiest, then you need to get him. You need to actually get him before you leave the banner. You know, that's something I talk about, is that you can't just decide to pull on this banner and then leave. You know, you're pulling for Tien. So, because nothing else here is worth it. You know, there's a lot of times I say that there are some banners where, and let's just, for example, look at this guy. There are some banners where you might get some extra things, right? So, Tao is a good example of this. Tao you could get and be happy. General Blue you don't really want by himself. You want him with Tao for sure. Super Buhan would have been a character at least a little bit ago where you would have looked at and been like, yeah, I would love to pick this character up and grab Tao as well, right? You know, this is a raise the floor of your box character. You don't want to see this, all right? You don't want to see this. You don't want to see this. This character, Easy Aid, again, another character you could pick up if you don't have him, and you would have been pretty happy with that, right? And then the Gammas, no. You would have wanted to see Ginyu, but they kind of fumbled him. He just needs too much. And then the rest of it is trash, right? So, in theory, a pretty good banner, right? If this Ginyu is better, if this Ginyu doesn't just need Team Ginyu and was instead extreme units, and if, you know, Yamcha wasn't in a meta that just punishes dodge, you would say that like 2 out of the 4, maybe even 5 characters on this banner are pretty pullable, right? I don't think Yamcha has, or I don't think Tien has that. Tien, by comparison, is the only catch. So good character, bad, 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 bad. You know, you get the point. So yeah, Tien not really worth the pull unless you get him. So don't spend 200 stones. Don't spend 300 stones. Don't just do the multis. If you are going to pull on this banner, you pull for Tien until you get him. But my suggestion, unless you have a ton of currency, is to just not look at when this banner goes away. This is the 7th, July 7th. That is when we should be expecting the actual Dokkan, you know, global Dokkan celebration to start. This is very purposeful. This is going away slightly before that. So we're essentially going to go, this banner is going to disappear. We're going to get to like the 30th, 31st, and then global Dokkan celebrations countdown's gonna start, and then we're gonna start pulling out hype, right? So that is my suggestion for this time. If you are going to pull for Tien, you should get Tien, right? I know it's just like, oh, you know, get Tien, but I mean, they're literally pity coins. So if you decide to do this, pull until you get them. Obviously, we do have the new currency here, which is this point system where you're going to get a ticket. I still don't really fully understand how good that gacha is going to be, though there are some premium characters on there. I will say that that type of gacha is better in a game like Jujutsu Kaisen Phantom Parade, where the characters are good for much longer, and their version of EZAs are much stronger, but that sort of is what it is. So yeah, all in all, tell me how it goes if you do pull. Hopefully you get them really fast if you do. Otherwise, sadly, we're gonna get another 2 weeks of boring ass Dokkan. Hopefully some of you got him with your tickets, but if you didn't, it's not that big of a fuss, right? I think Tien will be good enough for a while. The sad reality is, though, is that if you miss out on Tien here, by the time he comes back around on a banner, he might just kind of be like not very useful anymore. So we'll see. I think 2025 has been a good year for the characters sort of middling on their power. There are a lot of characters who are still usable. I mean, I just put up the Jiren fight where I was using Daima, Goku, and Glorio, right? And those characters are 6 months old at this point. 6 months of power creep old. So never say never when it comes to that. And by far, I think this Tien has the biggest legs of them all. So yeah, like if you liked the video, subscribe to the club, we all go make it, and peace.